Hi everyone, I'm Karan and welcome to Karan's Gyan. The stock on focus for today is Glenmark Pharma. As you might know, Glenmark Pharma today surged or increased by 40% because it launched a new coronavirus drug. It launched a new antiviral drug, Favipiravir, under the brand name FabiFlu. This drug is priced at about 103 rupees per tablet and is used for treatment of patients with mild to moderate coronavirus. Um, so, after reading these articles, I'll give you my key takeaway points. Fabiflu is the first oral medicine of the generic brand Favipiravir and is approved by medication in India. However, it is restricted to emergency use for mild to moderate patients. And as you might know, there are about 80 to 85% of total cases that are classified as mild to moderate. So the treatment for coronavirus using Fabiflu drug is about 2 week long, for which a patient has to take about 18 tablets of this medicine on the first day and 8 tablets every day for the remaining 13 days. Now, since this is a 2 week long treatment, a person would have to take about tablets worth of 12,566 rupees. Yeah, which can be an expensive amount for a lot of people to pay, but well, it isn't as expensive as a hospital treatment, which can cost lakhs of rupees. This drug is also being exported to Nepal and UAE. Moreover, Glenmark is doing a clinical trial with combination of two drugs, favipiravir and umifenovir, as a coronavirus remedy. Now, this stock has increased 40% today, and there has been a lot of hype about Glenmark Pharmaceuticals. However, I don't recommend you to buy the stock at all. My opinion, don't get sucked up into Glenmark rally. And I'll give you my 2 cents about it. So these are my following reasons. Number one, this medicine has been an approved medication in India. So the Indian Medical Journal has approved this medicine. All right, but it has approved this medicine based upon clinical trials in China and Russia. So the clinical trials that happened in China and Russia served as the basis for approval of this medicine. And as you know, the clinical trials in China and Russia cannot be trusted because number one, they were of a small size, and China and Russia are semi regulated markets, and you cannot completely trust them. Second thing, this drug is used in Japan. This drug is specifically used for influenza or flu purposes, and the Japanese medical team, the Japanese government does not use this drug for treatment of coronavirus. It has denied the drug for treatment of coronavirus. So that is something to wonder, that why Japanese haven't approved this drug for the treatment of coronavirus, while the Chinese and Russia feel that this drug can be useful for treatment of coronavirus. And the third point is, as you know, as you might have read, remdesivir is that a drug that was manufactured by Gilead. It has the backing of FDA USA, and you should be able to trust the Food and Drug Administration of the United States of America more than the medical teams or the governments of China and Russia. And you also know, and lately Cipla has manufactured the generic version of remdesivir. So this drug by Glenmark would face competition from the generic version of remdesivir that is being made by Cipla. And suppose, let us just consider that this drug is actually effective. Fabiflu is actually effective for treatment of coronavirus. But you need to remember, since Glenmark is the first to enter the market, it can take advantage of this monopoly, but not for long. Within the next 2 to 3 months, bigger players can enter the market and they can be a market leader in this, leaving Glenmark behind. So Glenmark can only have a monopoly in this market of producing Fabiflu for the next 3 to 4 months, or maybe 6 months, but not more than 6 months. And there are bigger pharmaceutical players like Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, Cipla that can come and dominate the market, and it will no longer be a monopoly by Glenmark. Okay. Um, it is expected that Glenmark would have a boost of 100 to 200 crore. I'll give you my reasoning behind it. As we let us think that India has 4 lakh patients, which India actually has. Assuming all these 4 lakh patients are mild to moderate patients, and the treatment costs about 12,500, as I told you before. We need 122 tablets priced at 103 rupees based on the treatment recommendation. So, 12,500 rupee is the treatment cost, and assuming a 20% profit for Glenmark in producing these manufacturing Fabiflu, because even great pharmaceutical companies don't have a profit more than 20%. So you expect for treating 4 lakh patients, Glenmark would just have a profit of 100 crores. Now, why I say 100 to 200 crores? Obviously, the patients of coronavirus in India can and will increase in the future, but it might not reach at such a high level where there'll be a 37 crore profit for Glenmark. Because look at this, the price of Glenmark increased by 40% today. Glenmark had a market capitalization of about 11,000 crore before this, 10 to 11,000 crore before this 40% rally. And as a result, since Glenmark has increased by about 40% today, rupees 3,700 crores have been added as market capitalization. So value is, there's a added value of 3,700 crore to Glenmark, whereas the boost of sales are just expected to be 100 to 200 crore. So do you see such a great discrepancy between increase in value of the share to the actual increase in the profit and sales of the company? The last point I would like to tell you is Glenmark is a troubled company. Glenmark has high debt and it has a lot of ongoing problems with FDA in the United States of America because Glenmark lacks quality control. It has high R&D facility charges. It spends a lot of money on R&D, which is unprecedented because uh, bigger companies in this sector, bigger companies in pharmaceutical sectors don't spend as much but have a higher sales and higher profit than Glenmark. So when I compare Glenmark to its peers, it isn't that great. Its drug Fabiflu isn't approved, and and trust me, it might not be the officially approved drug for coronavirus treatment. And remdesivir has a better chance to work than Fabiflu. And Glenmark just has a monopoly for maybe 3 to 4 months, and after which bigger players would come into the market and disrupt the market created by Glenmark. So that's my 2 cents, and my opinion is, again, don't get sucked up into the Glenmark rally. Wait and watch right now, and invest in better stocks that have a stronger fundamental and better business prospects. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a nice day.